How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How old are you?
22.
22?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me turn your microphone down because you awful kind of loud up in this mug. So what,
Sorry.
no problem. What up, dog? Iron shit. So what did I get wrong?
I don't really think you got anything wrong. I just had I wanted to clarify something.
Okay.
So I noticed that you tend to take the most issue with women who approach you and they say they want someone who will take them out of work. Basically, they'll take care of them, and they don't have any idea of like how much that would cost them or how much they would have to work to get to that position. So me personally, I don't necessarily
No, I don't.
want.
I don't accept. I don't accept that. But go ahead and ask the question. I don't accept that as a position that I have.
Okay, could what's
I don't. I
position
don't
would
have a position with any woman who wants something. That's what you want.
okay.
That's what you want. I just ask you, do you know what it's going to require to get it?
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I do
but
have an issue with somebody who wants a Mercedes and they got money for a bicycle.
right,
That's reasonable.
right, right. But my question to that would be me personally, I don't necessarily want somebody to like take me out of the game. I don't see myself like necessarily ever not having an income. Like even if I were to have be with a man who makes $500,000 a year, I would still be
Okay,
more
okay.
comfortable having an income just
Okay, here's what I need to do. Turn off the YouTube channel. Stop watching yourself because I'm getting
okay.
background noise. Is your YouTube channel on in the background?
My TV was on, but I don't have.
Okay,
Let me see if
so
I have any browsers open.
at 22 years old, do you want to get married?
Yes,
Do you want to? How many children do you want?
I want to have like 8 kids. I want to. I love kids.
8 children?
Yeah, I just want to keep. You know Kiki Wyatt. I want to do what she's doing.
Okay. Kiki who?
Kiki Wyatt, the
Yes.
singer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And
she's.
who's she married to?
I'm not sure.
Right. But you want 8 children. How much does it cost to raise the average child in the United States of America?
I think it was 200. It was either 200,000 or $20,000.
Excuse me?
Approximately. It was either $200,000 like throughout their lifetimes or like 20,000. It was
Uh,
like, in that two range.
right. And right, $200,000. So you want $1.6 million in children. That's what you want. 8 children times 200,000 is $1.6 million. What do you
Okay.
do for a living?
I am a microbiologist.
So you're broke.
I would consider that.
Okay. Who do you work for?
I work for a pharmaceutical company.
How much do you make annually?
I make $50,000 a year
Where do you
at the
live?
moment.
What city?
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Okay, you're not broke. You're middle class.
Yeah.
Um, at $50,000 a year, can you afford one child?
Yes.
You could afford one child at 50,000. Can you afford two?
Probably no.
Right. But in
I
affording
don't.
one child, could you afford? Would you have a home or an apartment?
With one
Mm-hmm.
child on 50,000, I would more than likely have an apartment.
Right. And is that how we think we should be raising kids? So
No,
let me
that's
go. We're
not.
gonna keep on moving, man. $50,000 is enough for one woman to live a single young woman's life in an apartment.
Hmm.
But it's not
Hmm.
enough to live a successful life where you can buy a home, travel, have savings, have insurance, have investments, have life insurance, have all the things that get people out of uh, paycheck to paycheck and lead to a generational wealth. 8 children, you would need a man making how much money
You
annually?
said
Eight.
one point, at least one
No,
point.
no,
You
no.
said 1.5.
In order to have 3 children, you need a guy making around 350,000. So you need to have a man that's $1 million for 8 children. At this the numbers. Well, even if you trimmed it back in St. Louis, there's a that's not it's not mathematically directional proportional. So closer to around $800,000 to make sure that every child has their room, Every kid, when they turn 16, will have access to a car or a vehicle, even if there's some overlap. Every child could go to college of their choice if they wanted to. The daughters could have their weddings paid for. The kids could have some sort of starter fund, such and so forth. Will you ever make that kind of money in your lifetime with a microbiology degree?
No, not
Right.
by myself.
So, how tall are you?
5'7",
Dress size.
size 6,
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
148,
Mm-hmm.
148.
Right. And what would you give yourself on a look scale, 1 to 10, 0 to 10? You cannot use 7.
I guess you should give me an adjustable 6. I can be really pretty and I can be really bummy.
When's the last time you wore your hair?
Last month.
If you took, is that a wig or is
This
that
is, this is the weave. Yeah.
okay? How long is your hair?
It's about right here when it's straightened, but I have 4C hair. So when it's condensed, it's like
So,
up here.
so why would you not wear your hair if it's shoulder length when straightened?
I just prefer to wear longer hair.
Yeah, but most high value men don't like women with weave.
hmm
So in St. Louis, how many men are running around? Do you want a black man or do you care?
I prefer black men.
So how many near millionaire black men are running around St. Louis?
None that I know of.
Right.
Yeah. But I was saying, to go back to, not to negate what you were saying, but I was just asking, me personally, I don't, just off the idea of like the idea of somebody having like all of the burden on them, I would prefer to still have an income just to help my man, or
Yeah, ma'am.
just
Let me just go
a
ahead and
little
knock this
bit.
out. Kiki Wyatt, this woman with children. How many kids do you say she has?
I think she just had her
Mm-hmm.
11th, I believe.
She's married in 2010 to Michael Jamar. Michael Ford, the ordained minister. The Wyatt family reality show. As of 2013, they had 6 children by three. By her first, so she got 3 different baby daddies. Actually, 4 now. 4 different baby daddies. Now I got to ask you. This is the woman you said you like what she's doing.
Oh, I didn't say it in that context.
No,
I
no,
meant,
no, no, no. You liked her children, right?
yeah, I like that she
But
does have
that's what you
kids.
put out there. But why do you look up to a woman with 8 children by multiple men?
Well, me personally, I love kids.
Okay,
If I wasn't,
but ma'am, why not
okay,
just say you looked up to Claire Huxtable? She had them all with her husband. Why would you look up to a woman with 8 children by all these men on a reality show?
I might have used a bad example. I do apologize.
No, I'm
That
no,
was
it's no, it's right.
bad.
It's kind of right in line. It's kind of right in line with what you're talking about. You're in a fantasy world.
Mhm.
You're a microbiologist. You're a cute girl. You're making average money, living in St. Louis, and you're running around here talking about 8 children. And no, where in the world? And you're how old again?
22.
What's the longest relationship you've had?
2.5 years.
How long ago was that?
That ended in December of last year.
Right. And why didn't you guys get married?
We had some drama,
Uh huh.
outside drama, that kind of just made us
Okay.
have
You have no
fight.
children though, right?
No, no, we didn't have any kids.
Okay. Do you? Is your father in your life?
Yes,
Was he? Were your mother and father married?
yes,
Okay, ma'am. I'm going to suggest. Are you close to your dad?
yes.
Does he help you vet and sort through the men you deal with?
No,
Well, that's a
he.
problem. Because if you were with a guy for 2.5 years and you picked him, you're 22. You don't have a lot of time to keep playing around. You need to actually get your feet on the ground, get realistic about who you are, what's available to you out here, and make a decision. Because when I hear a woman talking about reality TV stars and kids and all this other kind of stuff, and you're not even, it sounds like you're still playing with Barbies. And this is why so many of our sisters get stuck. You keep doing this. We're going to look up in 6 or 7 years from now. you're going to be one of these eternal sevens that keep calling into my show, angry that they can't find a man. And ask him, why did you lose? Did you had a man in the back and something was wrong? Was he in college too, the guy you were with?
He already graduated by the time we met.
Okay, so what's he doing with his life?
He's a project manager.
So why was did he who broke up with who?
It was a mutual
There's no
agreement.
mutual agreement, man. That's bullshit. That means you broke up with him.
It was,
There's no
yeah, it was
mutual stuff.
mutual.
There's nothing that happens that way in the real life. You know what? There's somebody who precipitates it. I don't care, man. Just be realistic. Do you still communicate with him?
Yes.
Yes. How long ago did you guys break up?
It
December.
was December.
When was the last time
So
you
it
had
was
sex?
since April. So
Right. So you had sex after the breakup.
yeah.
Get some counseling. Go get your man back. Go live a life.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to leave it right there, man. I'm tired of seeing our young ladies just throw stuff away. Somebody could deal with you for 2.5 years. Again, what do I say? So many of our young women need to get off of social media. Kiki White it or whatever. What are we talking about here? See, like I said, you may not like my approach, but where else? Where can you go? Where else are you gonna go to hear somebody tell you something that's close to being realistic, ladies? You're just too harsh. You're too mean. Okay, see, there are plenty of men who would sit back and tell you, "Oh, go live your best life. Your man's gonna come along and Boaz is gonna find you." I'm not gonna tell you that because that's not realistic. That's not how life works. I'm gonna leave the line open because understand something. Far too many women want high value men, and what you're really saying is, I want the lifestyle your money can afford me. But yet, I'm not willing to do whatever. I'm not willing to even understand who you are. See, that's what I think is most interesting. The people, the women who complain about my platform, and there are some. They complain about the way you talk to women, what you say to women, because I tell women the truth that high value men want them to know. But see, they don't seem to have any problem with, for all you women who want to tell me that the way you speak to women, you don't seem to have any problem with these women wanting to use high value men. You see, I hear women talking about there's a woman on the other end, and the woman, her feelings on a woman. What about the men's feelings? What about what the men want? These men have to go out in the world to make something of themselves. And do you think these men want to just sit around and be used by women who have no idea what they want or nothing? 36 years old, and I deserve it. We have done a job on our women. You don't deserve anything. You earn it. Make this clear, black women. 51% of black men in the United States of America are single and childless. Blackdemographics.com. Go look for it yourself. Black statistics by black people for black people. 64% of black men are in the middle class. There are plenty of single, middle class, unmarried, and childless black men. Despite all the in jail, DL, or whatever, plenty of them. But do you want them? Do you want them? And then we sit around, talking about you deserve this, you deserve that. It's about work. If every black man in this country married a black woman tomorrow, still be 2 million more black women that are single. This is blood sport, ladies. I'm telling you, if no one else told you, they've told you what you want to hear. You're a queen, you're this, you're that, you're fabulous. Just sit and wait. I'm telling you right now, your house is on fire and it's burning down. You better get competitive right now. You better get competitive and work because black men, this is really going to tick you off. Black men are your only real option. Oh, snap. Black men are your only real option because people of a race tend to marry of their same race. That's like saying Chinese men or Chinese women's only real option. Mexican men or Mexican women's only real option. Yes, there are people that marry out, but it still never has gotten past 51%. The most you have is white men with Asian women, and that's still trickling towards 20. The majority of people marry their race. So knock it off thinking you can go get Brad. Knock it off thinking you can go get Lee. Knock it off thinking you can go get Ahmed. Knock it off thinking you can go get Enrique. If you are lucky, you can get Keith. Keith, Kenneth, and another K name. Black men. And you heard that woman, 36 years old, with men dying around her left and right. I wouldn't want to date you because I'd be afraid I'd be next. That woman said, an average looking woman, average, said she would not want an average earning black man. Damn, that's messed up. Hello.
Hi.
So, what do you think on the topic?
Um, in regards to like what I bring to the table.
Yes, you can stay on with that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Well, just a little context. I'm 21 and I currently attend Emory,
Okay.
in Atlanta. So I think what I bring to the table personally is I'm very well connected. I have a very magnetic energy, able to network well, very adaptable, strong emotional intelligence, very graceful and very put together. And I definitely think my environment has contributed to that. So for
Okay.
me, that's what I think I bring.
Okay. You said you're 21.
Yes, no, 20, sorry. I'm turning 21 in December though.
Okay. Yeah, you're young for this. So, um, are you wanting to be married and have children and all that stuff?
I do.
Do you want to work after you're pregnant?
Um, no, I don't think so. Not after I'm pregnant. I want to homeschool. So that's kind of my
Okay.
aspiration. Yeah.
All right. So here in Atlanta, were your mother and father married?
They were for 13 years.
So, are you actively dating anyone?
I'm not.
All right. So the network you're talking about and things like that. I don't know what you're referring to, but at 20 years old, um, have you not wanting to work? That's a certain caliber of man.
Hmm.
Do you date older men?
I have.
Okay, you have. And how old is the oldest man
Mhm.
you've dated?
Um, let's see, 24, 25.
Ain't old, baby girl.
Well, old for me at the time.
See. I mean, do you know how much money would a man have to make to be able to support a wife like you in Atlanta with three children and you not working?
Well, see, the thing is, I do want to work.
Oh,
But after I have kids, then no, I don't want to work ideally. But
it's still not working. Understand how the math
right,
works. Even if you want to work for a year or two, once the kids
yeah,
start, you want to stop. So it means not working.
right.
So just go ahead and say I don't want to work. And that's the way the math works,
I don't want to.
huh?
I don't want to.
You don't want to work.
No, not. Well, I do, but at the same time, I really want to homeschool.
All
So,
right. So what I'm saying is, you ladies need to stop being multi-minded. You need to just
mhm.
stand on what it is. I don't want to work. All right. Then how many kids? Three? Two?
Yes, three.
All right. So what area of Atlanta, if you lived in Atlanta, what area of Atlanta would you like to live in?
Um, Let me see. I
You're 5'7" and 145 pounds is the average size of a boxer. Good
Ooh,
item. So just understand boxers are around 145 pounds, 140, 145 pounds. So go ahead. I mean, you don't want to live in Bankhead, do you?
oh, absolutely
East
not.
Point. So let's get to it.
I would like to stay somewhere between Buckhead and
Yeah, right,
the Emory area.
right, right, right. And how much would a man need? What do you think a man would need to make to afford to live in Buckhead? Have a wife.
Um,
Hold on. Have a wife that stays home and can homeschool 3 children.
yeah.
How much money
Let's
does he
see.
need to make annually?
I'm gonna just say like 400.
How many 24-year-old men do you make $400,000 legally?
Um, I know maybe like one, but definitely not very many.
Legally?
Yes.
What does he do for a living?
He works in like a venture capital firm, but he's like the program director. So
At 24.
yes. Sorry, 26, but in that area.
Yeah. Okay. So, you see the first thing? You, you, you said you were dating an older, but the kind of money you're talking about, how old do you think a man needs to be to make $400,000 a year? Average
Um,
age.
oh, I'm gonna say like 50.
In his 40s.
Oh, 48,
In his late in
47.
his late 30s, 40s, or 50s. So,
Okay.
okay. So, are you looking to marry a man who's 40?
Mm. Honestly, I wouldn't mind.
See, this is that settling talk. See, you wouldn't mind because he has the money, but it wouldn't be your.
No, I don't think that's it. I genuinely, I feel like since I was a little bit younger, I've
Uh,
always kind of talked to older men, so it wouldn't be like out of the ordinary for that to also happen.
right, but so do older men approach you,
Yes.
but you've never dated one.
No.
So listen to what you're saying. I want a lifestyle that a man would have to be at least in his 40s to afford. And then he's going to have to make himself in the top 5% of earners in the country.
Hmm.
I mean, to make $400,000 a year, you're in the top 5%, almost the top 1%. You're talking about,
Right.
I know men that make that kind of money, you know. I don't even want to get into my past. But anywho, um, and yet you've never dated one.
No.
So, what do you bring to a man of that age and that level of income, that level of maturity, gravitas? Uh,
Hmm.
what do you bring to him?
Mm. Well, the things I mentioned before, but
Okay, but I
I
mean, I'm gonna
think for
just say,
that
I'm gonna just
age,
be honest though.
I don't have.
I need to let me just ask it. I mean, somebody my age, what do I need with your network at 20 years old?
Mm,
You need my network. I don't need your network.
that's true. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
And that is the questions I'm trying to get you ladies to start asking.
Right.
See, ma'am, you're asking for an extremely small fraction of men, and why do you need that?
Hmm.
Because you want to
Um,
because you want to homeschool?
I mean, the thing is, I genuinely don't feel like I need that, but
But yeah,
I think putting
yeah,
into
no, ma'am, no, no,
context.
ma'am. You do need it if you want to
Hmm.
live in Buckhead.
Hmm.
See, what it is you're saying is you didn't say I would be all right living in you know in the lower income part of town. You want a upper middle class or lower upper class lifestyle. I mean, you expect to own a car, right?
Hmm.
What kind of car would you expect to drive you and your children in?
Um, Maybe like a Porsche truck.
I mean, you're laughing, But here's the thing. I need you ladies to start asking yourself, what do I bring to a man who's making $400,000 a year, can afford to put me in a house in the neighborhood that I'm in right now, driving a
Mm-hmm.
Porsche truck? What do you bring? Because that's what you want. And I'm cool with that's what you want. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
judging it. What I'm asking you is what value do you bring to him?
Right.
And what these first two calls have kind of shown is you ladies don't really do that a good job at understanding what a man at the level you want wants.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you expect that to so how do you so Godiva, I'm gonna unmute you. How do you expect how do you because Godiva, you were saying that I'm good at basically inspiring and giving and loving, but how
Mhm.
do you guys expect to get chosen first?
Okay. Well, I expect to get chosen first because I'm teachable. I've always been teachable. I'm a very quick learner. And yeah.
Why didn't you say you dated a high value man before?
Mhm.
Why didn't he keep you?
To be honest, he had been divorced and it kind of went topsy turvy when it came to talks of like marriage. One minute he was serious, the next minute wasn't. And so I had to walk away from that situation.
Oh,
Mhm.
you left him after how long?
It was about a year and a half
But you knew he was divorced within the first month of dating.
on the first date.
So they can't be. So you left him because he.
No, so what I'm saying is basically on our first date, he let me know like he had been married previously, and I thought it was very honest because a lot of people shy away from telling you those kind of things. So,
No, no, they don't.
oh, really?
No, they don't.
Oh,
My
okay.
group is. I got 600 people in the group, and every man in there wants to be married.
No, no, no. I'm saying that he had been married,
I
but
get, but we
and he
don't.
was
And I have men. Basically, men who want to marry aren't shy about talking about marriage or divorce or anything.
okay.
What you're
Well,
kind of showing is that you don't really. You have some preconceived notions about because you said men are this way, men are that way, and basically
oh, no,
sounds to
no,
me.
no.
Hold on, listen. Just
Okay.
because um, men who want to marry know they want to marry and they go into it. Did he say
Mhm.
he wanted to get married, or did he say he was open to marriage?
He said he wants to be married again.
All right, he wanted to be married again, and were you guys dating one another exclusively?
In the beginning, no, but within the second or third month, it became exclusive.
All right, and he wanted to get married. Did he say he wanted to marry you?
Nope. That's what I'm saying. I just kind of realized, for him at least, I can't speak for every man. I just started to realize it wasn't as serious as I thought it was. And I kind of felt like the rebound, like he had just gotten divorced.
All right, ma'am. Let me stop you because again, this is on
Mhm.
you. Because if the man said he wanted to be married and you
Mhm.
guys weren't dating exclusively for the first 2 or 3 months, why did you date a man exclusively 2 or 3 months later who did not want to marry you? Who said he wanted to be married?
Mhm. Well, I can honestly say that I made a mistake with that relationship. I
Well,
wasted a
that's
lot.
fine. But what I'm trying to get you to also understand is I don't think you really get. He may have been a higher earner,
Mhm.
but that doesn't necessarily put him into the category of the guys I'm talking about. And at the end of the day, I'm not really hearing that you're teachable in these things, but that's still, I mean, are you openly out there trying to compete and get a husband?
Yes, pre-COVID, I would make sure that I go out and everything like that, get dressed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is why, but you're gonna have to do more.
Yes, I've
You're gonna
been
have to do.
looking.
You're gonna have to do much more because you're.
I don't know.
I got a 20-year-old a woman on and she's that's her picture. She's very attractive.
Mhm.
That's your
No.
competition. Y'all still talk about the same caliber of man.
Mhm.
And I don't really sense the sense of urgency with a lot of women, black women in particular, about finding this elite level husband that you all seem to want. And honestly, you don't even seem to know him. He's just a wallet and a fantasy, but I'm willing to talk about it. Uh, you can speak, Jordan. Go hold on. Let me go ahead and put you guys. Hold on. Let me put you two on mute for a second, because we're gonna
Sure.
hold on. Let me go ahead and mute you for a second.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Spotlight News. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And before we proceed, let's give respect to the fallen legend Papa Kevin Samuels for his good work he did for the black society and the black women and the men. Because I would say I would rate Mr. Kevin's work 100% because he really did a great job to prove the black women society in one way or the other and to improve everyone in one way or the other. And may his work stay forever and may his legacy stay forever because I think he has more amazing work and more amazing videos you should watch. You're looking for marriage, love, relationship, courtship, friendship. What are you looking for? These videos will help you out even in communication skills on how to communicate with people, because in his videos I've seen a lot of ladies that come in with a lot of fire to put him down, and he will teach them what they call speaking with someone on their life. So today we are going to look at this lady. How can I define her? First of all, before we proceed, I just love the moment when Mr. Kevin Samuels told her the point without sugarcoating. Actually, me personally, I stand with people who don't sugarcoat things more than the person who will come and tell you sugarcoat something and the reality running away from the reality. So this lady was told the truth, and I love the way they asked her, how many kids do you want to have? And she said, I would like to have 8 kids. And they asked her how how much is affording a kid, and she said like 200K, and now they say that is 1.4. And Mr. Kevin told her, now what about 8 kids? And a man who is there, since these days we don't produce too much, you can never find a man who says I want 10 kids or 8. Actually, according to my analysis, according to my knowledge, according to what I've realized, these days, someone may have money, the billionaires are having 1 to 2 kids or 4. Then the highest number it's always 4. But according to my analysis in the population census, those who have those who have like let me say those who have like they don't have money, they tend to have like 2 to 3. So in the at the end of the day they end up feeding out the world. So this lady was like, I want to have 8 kids and this and this. So at the end of the day, that's how she ended up concluding her story. And I would say 100% this lady is confused and she doesn't know what to do. It's like someone coming in and says, Linda Kokachini, yeah, I think you're getting my point. So I think this lady is so confused and so on. So at the end of the day, you find it very difficult to define such a person who wants high value men. And when she's asked how much do you earn and how will you manage, it's like you budgeting for someone's pocket or budgeting for one another in their pocket, yet you can't sit and budget for yourself. I think that is our commentary today. But ladies, let's try to work on ourselves somewhere, somehow. So I think bye bye. That brings us to the end of today's video, and stay tuned. Love you all, to my commenters, to my subscribers. Love you all.